Hello, I want to talk to you about our plan in the Contemporary Issues in Science course for the next 4 weeks. So things will be a little different for a few weeks because we're going to be doing our first trimester project. So the trimester 1 project is all linked below. You'll have all this information, but I want to walk you through the scope and the sequence of what this project will look like. Okay, so let's start here actually with the calendar. And so if we zoom in, you can sort of see where we're starting this week. Notice that we have about 4 weeks for this project. So the first week is really you looking and deciding what you want to do for your project and then posting on a discussion board what you want to do. You have that week and a little bit of next week to really sort of get all of this information started. Then you have another week to really work on the project. So basically, if you take this first week to sort of decide what you're going to do, then you either have a week and a half, or if you decide early, you really have 2 weeks to work on this project. So this is the scope. We'll take a little time to decide what you're going to do. Then you're going to start working on your project. Then after these projects are turned in, we're going to turn them all into the discussion board. You will actually go and look at other people's or your classmates' projects and give them feedback, all right? So all of our work will be shown to the entire class. So when you're deciding what you want to do, you need to keep that in mind. Remember, everyone in the class will be able to see the work that you do, give you comments and feedback, of course, including myself. So that's sort of the overview. Decide what you're going to do. Tell me what you're going to do on the discussion board. Then you're going to work on it, turn in your project. You'll actually turn that in on the discussion board. You'll put the link to your project. And then the final week, this week in November, you're actually going to be giving feedback to everyone in the class. All right, so let's take a little bit, or take a little look at what this project entails, okay? So all of this information is, of course, linked on our calendar. You can just click on everything, go right to it. It's also available here. If you look on Trimester 1 project, watch the video, which you're watching now, read the rubric, then turn in things like tell me what you're going to do, and then, of course, turn in your project. All right, so let's get into it. This is the discussion board where you're going to post your idea. So for every person, you'll tell me what your proposed project is. You will get a response from me. Then you'll link your final project. So this is actually the discussion board is where we're going to be turning in and getting ideas of what we're going to be doing. All right, so let's look at the scope of the project. So first thing, you're going to learn about the project. You're watching this podcast now. Then you're going to choose a project type and topic. And I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. You're going to work on it, turn it in, view classmates' projects, and then, of course, we're going to comment. All right, so Herder, what is the project? All right, so this class is a little different, right? We're meeting online, and one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to give you choice. Choice in the topic, but also choice in the project type. So, for example, I've come up with like a menu of options for you to do for your project. The topics is a limited menu. So let's scroll down to the topics first. These are the topics we've covered this year so far in the course: climate change, GMOs, organic farming, global health, vaccines, mental health, neurotransmitters, neuroscience, and consciousness. So you need to choose one of these topics or go in depth into one of these topics. Now, what's the project itself? Okay, well, once you kind of have an idea, oh, I want to do neurotransmitters, I specifically want to focus on the serotonin transmitter. Okay, that's what you want to do. What are you going to do about it? Well, here's your menu. And in this menu, it tells you what the option is, and it also tells you if you can work with a partner or not. And then there's a rubric for each of the project types. So I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but I'm going to hit a few. So the first project you might choose to do is a 2 to 3 page argumentative research paper related to one of our topics. So maybe you found, for example, the issue about vaccines and particularly the COVID vaccine very interesting. You want to make an argumentative paper why this is a safe vaccine or not, and why everyone should or not get it. So you cannot work with a partner on that one. And if you click on the rubric, here's what we're looking for, right? We want to see evidence that you did research on this. Then you have to have a title page, a thesis statement, introductory paragraph, body, conclusion, citations, all the fun stuff. Notice there are points for all of these things. So just like in an English class, you would follow this rubric. Now, that is if you choose to do an argumentative research paper. Please note, the caveat on all of these things is that this must be your own work, right? And I can tell whether or not you asked our friend ChatGPT to do your paper for you, okay? That is against the honor code. This must be your own work. And I've gotten pretty good at telling what is AI and not. So that is option one. You can do a paper, follow the rubric. Second thing is, oh, maybe you're really interested in GMOs and you happen to know someone that works in food science. So you want to interview an expert in the field. This one you can work with a partner, right? You and your partner can do the interview, record it. There's the rubric for that expert interview, okay? Do your research, you're going to ask questions, you're going to, and then edit. We want this to look really high quality. So that we have a nice interview that we can all view. Because remember, both I and your classmates will be viewing these. So that is one thing. You can also, so you can make a video recording. You can also interview an expert and then write a newspaper article, which we may decide that you want to submit to the CUSP, right? So maybe you're really interested in a certain environmental issue and you want to interview an expert and then write it up for the CUSP, okay? Rubric for that is there. Another thing, if you are a writer and you want to maybe submit this to the CUSP, which, by the way, the CUSP, if you don't know, is our Canon Upper School newspaper. Maybe you want to bust a myth. Maybe everybody thinks, oh, this is a common thing, but you say, nope, I'm going to do some research and bust this myth. So it's a myth-busting article. You'll write that, and here's the rubric for that, and you'll just submit that and bust a myth. And maybe you'll decide to put it into the CUSP, and maybe you won't. That's up to you. Another option is creating an original piece of artwork. Now this one's a little out of my comfort zone, but I'm really trying here to give you some options. Do a painting, a drawing, an infographic, a t-shirt about one of the topics, and after you do that artwork, you must do a one-page written artist statement explaining the work, how it relates to the course, and what you did. That rubric is here. Notice that you're going to get some credit, of course, for the artwork itself, but a big majority of your grade for this will be the written statement telling me what you learned about the art project you did. You can also do like a video like I do, right? If you like, oh, I really think I want to be a YouTube star like Herder, right? I'm a big star. Then you can make yourself a little presentation, a little 5 to 10 minute, right? We're not going crazy. Make this 5 to 10 minutes presentation where you're going to go in depth on a certain aspect of our projects. And again, there's the rubric for that. I'm expecting good content, but I'm also expecting some quality in terms of the recording and the aesthetics. By the way, over here, I didn't mention this. I'm giving you some resources. So if you're like, I don't know how to do this, here's how to record a program in Audacity. Here's how to interview an expert. Here's how to use Screencast-O-Matic if you decide to do a video. So I've given you some resources if you decide to do some of these. Okay, these last two, you may actually, you work with a partner. So you can record a debate or record a newscast. So let's do the debate. So let's say you were really interested in this last topic about consciousness and you are like, no, we don't have free will. And then maybe your partner is, yes, we do have free will, as it relates to consciousness. Several of you I noticed put that in our discussion, really interested in the idea of free will. So maybe you do a little debate. It's got to be less than 10 minutes and follow the rubric outline, okay? That will be a video recording so that we can watch it. If you say, no, I don't like to debate, but I want to do a newscast. There's this new technology with GMOs that we're really interested in, and we want to make a newscast and tell everybody about it. These are probably going to be about 5 minutes in length, not too much. Again, looking at the rubrics, you'll notice I do care a lot about content, but I also want you to have a good quality project. Okay, so, and this is how I did this last one. where you might get some points, right? If you do all these things, I don't see why you can't get a really good grade. But make sure that you're doing everything in its entirety. What I will do is I will use the rubric and I will give you some feedback based on the rubric and what criteria you have met. So those are the options. So remember, what you need to do now is you need to decide, one, do I want to do something with a partner? If you do, you'll have to do all of this, of course, outside of class time because we don't meet. If you do want to meet with work with a partner, then you got to find that partner, come up with an idea. Once you have that idea, remember it must be posted on this project idea. So, for example, if Sky and Lily are working together, both of you would put, this is the project idea, right? Lily and Sky, so that I would know, oh yeah, you're both working on this. Say, I'm working with Lily and we're proposing the idea of a debate on free will, okay? I'll give you a response, it's a great idea. I might give you some suggestions. Once you've worked on the project, remember, you will put that on some place where you can give us a link to it, and you'll post that link here. That last week of the project, then we're gonna respond. Okay, so I hope that you actually enjoy doing this. That's my recommendation. Do something, pick something that you're going to enjoy doing. There's been some really interesting topics. So pick a topic you like and pick a project. That is really important that you tell me this, right? What your idea is and what your topic is. So you've got to tell me, we're doing a debate on GMOs. I'm doing an argumentative research paper on consciousness. And go a little deeper. Don't just pick like a general term. I want to do it on plants. No, tell me specifically what you want to do. Get a little deeper so that I know what your project's going to be about. Of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to stop by my room, G219, and I can help you or send me an email. All right, I hope you have fun with this project. I'm excited to see what you do.